And it was what it was. We couldn't. It's not up to the fighters, you know. One of the judges had me winning, two of them didn't. It was what it was.
In 2018, the Gypsy King returned from the depths of heavy depression. After his sensational victory over Wladimir Klitschko, the British boxer broke down psychologically and disappeared for almost 3 years.
When you're waking up and you don't want to live anymore, you know, it's hard for me to say sat here because I'm not thinking in that mindset anymore. But there was a number of years where I did not want to live on a daily basis. I said to God, why have you let me wake up this morning? Why didn't I die in my sleep? And I had no real reason. There wasn't one thing that made this happen. This is a continuous journey for years and years and years of depression and anxiety.
Few believed that after such a long hiatus, Fury would be able to handle the Bronze Bomber.
I'm back for you, baby.
The American was undefeated at 40-0, knocking out everyone except for the one fight that went the distance. But that evening, the spectators were shocked twice. First by the greatest knockdown in Fury's career delivered by Wilder, and then by the draw. The rematch did not take long.
The drawing board. I'll meet you, Deontay, in the middle of the ring.
Both boxers, as is often the case, promised to surprise their opponent. In the 7th round, Fury once again trapped Wilder in the corner and began raining punches. The Brits' attack had not yet fully unfolded when the referee intervened and stopped the fight, awarding victory to the challenger. That evening, Tyson reclaimed the heavyweight throne. After a series of scandals, the promoters decided to organize one of the greatest trilogies in boxing history.
Take that and eat it.
I am a king. I am a king.
You ain't a king.
I'm a king.
Where's it say king? It says third place loser in
you
your
will
name.
See it.
You're looking at king.
Feel it.
My name is
I would have
Gypsy
you
King.
saying
You're a doctor.
I believe it now, and you receive
You're
it.
my workman. You work for me now.
Gonna see.
You work
You
for
gonna
me.
see.
Look at the way you're dressed.
You gonna see.
Look at the way I'm dressed.
Well,
I'm dressed like a king. You're dressed like a dosser.
The American showed the best version of himself in the third fight with Tyson, but it wasn't enough. Once again, Deontay simply lacked the skill. His boxing IQ was still a step below Tyson's. As a result, Fury knocked out the hardest hitter in boxing history twice, writing his name down in history once again.
100%. I know the greatest heavyweight of my era, without a doubt. Number one, number uno. Look what I've done.
The prelude. As we know, the worst enemy hides in the mirror. Tyson Fury had already lost control of himself after his famous victory over Klitschko and almost tarnished his career, but fate gave him another chance. However, he was making the same mistake again, but the more professional one this time. At the time, Wilder, Fury and Joshua were considered the main contenders for the throne. Anthony had outclassed Andy Ruiz in a fundamental rematch and was supposed to fight for the crown with the winner of the Fury-Wilder bout.
I don't rate AJ. Never have. He's a blown-up bodybuilder who can't box. We all know that.
But suddenly, Alexander Usyk entered the race for the undisputed championship. Despite all the top heavyweights being much larger, the technical and humble Ukrainian first took down Chaz Witherspoon and Derek Chisora, then declared his ambitions to the world. AJ was the first to challenge the Ukrainian. A fatal mistake? Not at all. These are championship ambitions because only a champion wants to fight the best and toughest opponents. Despite his heroism, Anthony lost to Alexander. Usyk literally took the huge Brit to boxing school, casting doubt on the entire professionalism of the heavyweight division. Experts and fans increasingly questioned the technique and integrity of the heavyweight class, as the former cruiserweight had now outclassed the top boxers of the Royal Division. It seemed that the heavyweight division had only one hope. If Tyson beat Usyk, he could rightfully be considered one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
Rate him. Pound for pound, all the doesn't exist. I'll rate the guy, put that fist right through him when I fight him, and that's the God's honest truth. If I don't take him out inside 6 rounds, I'll be disappointed. I class it like a loss. That's what I'll do to Usyk.
But what did Fury choose? Despite the rematch clause in the Usyk-Joshua contract that did not go into effect yet, Tyson did not even think about facing the star Ukrainian. Fury chose the easiest option among all possible opponents, Derek Chisora.
Reason it's be our third fight. This man gave me my first opportunity on a British title, and then he gave me my second opportunity on the British and European title on the final eliminator for the world title. And now here's me repaying Derek by giving him a shot at the world title.
Derek was in the top 10, but in the context of this fight, he was a plus 1800 underdog. While Tyson was filling his pockets with money and increasing his social media following, Usyk defeated the best version of Anthony Joshua in a rematch and unofficially became the best in his new weight class. Fury won against Chisora as expected, but no expert dared to call him the best. It seemed that such a situation was not to Tyson's liking. After all, he had always chased legacy, sought out the best opponents, and went through the toughest battles. But what has happened to the Gypsy King now? Even Derek Chisora advised Tyson right in the ring to fight Usyk, after which Usyk himself stepped into the ring.
Usyk! You're next, little bitch! You're next! Me and you! You're getting it, little sucker! Rabbit!
But Tyson Fury's loud words were in no hurry to turn into action. Tyson suddenly went on a long-term break. He spent time with his family, relaxed, and didn't even think about a potential fight. Despite all the experts claiming that Usyk would be the most dangerous opponent in Tyson's career, he was in no hurry to prepare for this confrontation. But when Usyk's team tried to contact him to finalize the contract, Fury did not respond. He was accused of dodging the fight and being afraid of Usyk, to which Tyson reacted rather sharply.
You little 14-stone coward. You little shitbag, you rat little bastard. And your full team know it as well. And all the lawyers have got full information. You little ugly bastard. Keep running. Fight your way out of the copper box now, shitbag. And always know that you or anybody else like you could never tangle with the Gypsy King, you shithouse little coward.
As it turned out later, Fury was dissatisfied with the money and absolutely disagreed with the terms. For example, he didn't like the 65% fee, he wanted more. But Usyk was not that hyped up yet to set conditions, so he agreed to draw up the contract on the Brits' terms. However, the fight was not destined to take place. There was a contender for the IBF title in the face of Daniel Dubois, and Tyson Fury suddenly announced that he had already found himself an opponent. The heat was added by the fact that the parties could not agree on the venue and final fees. According to rumors, Tyson demanded an outstanding 90% fee, which the Ukrainian side did not approve. So Usyk's team decided to defend the title first and then proceed with the Fury bout. But the world was stuck with truly shocking news. Tyson Fury's next opponent would be MMA champion Francis Ngannou. British fans remember when Fury called out Ngannou after the fight with White.
It was fantastic, but before we go, I want to bring in Francis Ngannou. Francis, for coming at ESPN.
Obviously, Tyson is looking for ways to make money. Right now, he doesn't care about legacy since he is taking an easy fight for himself with someone who has never fought in boxing gloves. It's absurd that a boxing champion of the world calls out an MMA fighter for a boxing match. This fight carried no intrigue because a boxer of Tyson Fury's level was supposed to destroy even a very strong debutant.
Don't worry about it. We have a deal there.
Tyson came into the fight in a terrible shape. Even the fact that Francis was coached for the fight by the legendary Mike Tyson did not affect the Brits' confidence. Quite the opposite. Fury threatened to knock out the Cameroonian.
Huge spark out on Saturday night. Game over. Out cold. No problem. Out cold.
I think you said
out cold. Stand up for out cold. You get knocked spark out. Without a doubt, that right hand is going to detonate.
Reality is full of disappointments. One of the best heavyweights of his era was on the brink of defeat against an MMA fighter. Fans couldn't shake the feeling that it was Francis Ngannou who stepped into the ring to defend all the mastery and tradition of boxing against the restless, slow, and clumsy Tyson Fury. The rather controversial victory over the former UFC champion opened the eyes not only to the world but also of Tyson Fury himself.
Just a flash knockdown behind the head. I think it was like a glancing blow at the back of the head, and it was what it was, so it was alright.
Usyk's reaction did not take too long.
world champion MMA. Yeah, hard punch. But element surprise. Maybe Tyson Fury not serious. Oh, it's MMA fighter. Blah 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 blah.
After such a performance, many no longer saw that spark Tyson once had. Experts predicted the end of Fury's career, the end of his era, and recommended he retire from boxing. To succeed in such a sport, you need to give it your all. The conclusion is clear: Fury's best years are behind him. And it's not that he's old or anything like that. For a heavyweight, he is actually in his prime, but after victories over Klitschko and Wilder, Tyson was struck by a very terrible disease: arrogance. And not just a disease, but a bouquet of diseases. His arrogance, audacity, and star fever simply went to the gypsy's head. And because of this, even against an MMA fighter, he showed such a disgusting fight. But Tyson didn't even think about the fight with Ngannou. Assessing his deplorable state, the Brit began calling out Usyk. At one point, Fury accidentally met Usyk at a boxing event where the boxers very amicably hugged and exchanged words.
Give me a hug, brother. Come on, hug me.
It became obvious that the Usyk-Fury fight was definitely going to happen. The fight was scheduled in the Arab Emirates for mid-February. The wealthy Saudis managed to meet all of Tyson Fury's financial demands, and the boxers began preparing. Tyson did not intend to stay on the sidelines and almost immediately began promoting the fight in his typical manner.
Impossible. The Lord would never deliver me to you, son. Ever.
У Господа
The Lord
нічого
would never
немає
deliver me to
неможливого.
you. Ever. Never.
The Lord has nothing impossible.
Nothing's impossible, but he'd never deliver me to you. Especially man wearing earrings. Ever. Believe that. When you sleep at night, ugly man, you gotta think of me for the next 8 weeks. Think of me, because I'm gonna punch your face in.
But this attempt was also in vain. A few weeks before the fight, Fury suffered a severe cut, so the fight had to be postponed to May. After this, the Saudis even set a condition that in case of cancellation of the fight due to one of the parties, they would be forced to pay a huge fine of $10 million. But then another shocking event occurred, burying Fury deeper into the sand of his own failure. Anthony Joshua knocked out Francis Ngannou cold in the second round.
Yeah, listen, I got the Undisputed Championship ready coming May the 18th, and that's what matters, you know. So this was a show fight for Saudi Arabia and for Joshua's bank account and Ngannou's bank account, so credit to the both of them. But I got a real fight coming on May the 18th.
The fight was getting closer and the boxers were getting in their peak shape. Tyson Fury lost a lot of weight, but he was no longer the Gypsy King who destroyed his opponents in the ring. Fury was broken mentally and physically. Despite all the circumstances, he tried to resurrect his former self. At the final press conference, Tyson was not like his former self at all. He did not throw out loud words, did not challenge, and did not try to trash talk Usyk. Quite the opposite. He was reserved, quiet, and calm. And at the final stare down, Tyson no longer tried to intimidate Usyk. He even refused to look at him. It is obvious that we will never see the old Tyson Fury with his charisma, elusiveness, talent, and agility again.
I'm going to make this short and simple. I want to thank God for the victory that I've received already, and I want to thank everybody involved in putting this massive event on. I want to thank Usyk for turning up and challenging me, and that's about it. Thank you to all the fans who travelled over to support me, because I know it's tough times at the moment and money's hard, so I aim to put on a show. Thank you very much. God bless.
The fight took place and Alexander Usyk almost knocked out Fury in the 9th round. The world saw a new undisputed champion. Born in Ukraine, quiet, humble, disciplined, and brilliant Alexander Usyk simply neutralized all of the Brits' strengths and proved his mastery to the world. Tyson Fury lost everything.
Oh yeah, I've just had a fight, I've just come out. I don't want to think about having a boxing fight. I've been in camp 7 months, don't forget. Caught, back in camp. It was what it was. I'm here to get paid, get laid, go home. That's exactly what I'll do. And then we'll regroup and then we'll talk about it. And if there's going to be another fight soon, or whenever it is, October, I think they're believing about it, we'll rock and roll Sally. Get up!
If you fly too close to the sun, you will surely get burned. Tyson Fury got burned twice. It is very sad to realize that Tyson Fury's best moments are already behind him and his greatness and elusiveness in the ring have faded. Now there is a new king in the heavyweight division, and the beloved Brit left all of himself in the pages of boxing history. It all started with the fight against Klitschko, and then the victory over Wilder completely went to the Gypsy King's head. His overconfidence and arrogance ruined him, and as a result, the once respected boxer, considered one of the best of all time, is now scorned and hated. As they say, respect is earned over years, but it can be lost overnight.